My first year in consulting was a roller coaster, but it wasn't always the fun type of roller coaster either. Some moments made me want to vomit, especially the ones that I could have prevented. In this video, I wanted to share with you the top 5 mistakes I made my first year so that when you become a management consultant, you can avoid making the same mistakes. Mistake number 5 happened on my second project, where it was a pro bono project where I was working at Bain and we partnered with a local school system that was facing a high turnover rate of its best teachers. And the question came down to how do we retain these teachers? I love this question because if you know my background, you know that I came from a low income school system. So being able to work at this school system was very similar to my own, and being able to solve this problem meant that I could go home to my community and help my school system solve a similar problem. I got so excited about this project that not only did I do my own analysis, but before asking my manager and my team if I needed to do additional analysis, I went ahead and just did it. Unbeknownst to me, though, is because I didn't align with the team and didn't ask if this analysis was actually needed, I just went off on my own. Turns out another team member was already working on it. So in the end, we both replicated each other's work and wasted an entire day. And that was my fault. And I definitely took the ownership of that one because it meant that there was other things, there were backlog projects that could have been worked on, but instead I got too excited and worked on analysis that didn't need to be done. So the rule I learned from this that I moved on to other projects was whenever I'm thinking about what to do next, I'll think in my head what I want to do next. But before I actually do it, I'll go ahead and just ask the team, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing next. Is that the correct next steps? And then once the whole team is aligned, I'll go ahead and do it. But if someone says, oh yeah, we actually already did that analysis, or someone else is doing it, or actually that'd be great for you to do. In fact, use these resources that we already have. That would save me time, save the team time, and also save the manager frustration telling me that that was great work, but we can't use it because we don't need it. So don't make the same mistake I did. Mistake number 4 was forgetting about the big picture. At the end of my first year, I was staffed on a project where we were helping a $1 billion manufacturer reduce their cost. And one of the tasks that I was tasked with was to work with their financial planning as well as their budgeting department to be able to come up with a breakdown of all the costs. Because the different departments weren't talking, I had to get all these numbers together, tie them together because one department might have labeled it as R&D and another one would have had it as research labor. It was different titles, different numbering systems. And I had to tie it all together so that we can figure out, well, where are all the costs coming from? By Friday evening, I've been able to map out 497 of the $500 million, but this $3 million just kept on my mind. And I knew I had a presentation on Monday. I didn't want to disappoint the team. So I took my laptop home on the weekends, as well as all of the P&Ls from the different departments and trying to figure out where this $3 million came from. And I just felt so defeated. I couldn't figure out where this $3 million went. And on Monday, I came into the team and I said, hey, sorry, team, I only found $497 million. There's $3 million is missing. I don't know where it is. And to me, $3 million is obviously a huge amount. The manager came up to me and said, hey, Davis, I found out where the $3 million is. I was like, oh, really? Where is it? He took my PowerPoint slide and literally made a new column that said other. And he said, that's where it goes. Davis, you found $497 million and mapped it. This $3 million here, if you look at the whole picture, is only 0.6% of their total cost base. If you're focusing a whole weekend on trying to find that, it means you're spending time on the wrong thing. And that's where I learned that lesson of think about the big picture. It's not about being a perfectionist, and I know I definitely was on that project, but it's about that big picture. And I never forgot that lesson. Mistake number 3 was not telling the manager that I had already enough on my plate. So this happened on my third project at Bain, and I was still in my first 6 months at Bain at this point, and I really wanted to impress the managers, the partners on my project who had staffed me on this project. So every time the manager would say, hey, we have another request from the client who wants to take it on, if no one raised their hand, I would raise my hand and I would take it on. But I took on so much that I started to realize I couldn't finish everything on time, and that ultimately the project would be bottlenecked by me and we would be delayed and the client would be disappointed. And so when the manager asked, hey, Davis, what's going on with the progress? And I had to say, hey, I'm actually running behind on a lot of these and that's my fault. I'll get it all done. It's like, hey, Davis, you know what? How about we split this back up to the team? It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I already signed up. I was like, no, Davis, we need to finish this for the client on time. Let's divide up this portion of the work and you can still continue to own that portion of it. And so that was the lesson I learned that day, is that a lot of times when a manager gives you more projects to do than you can actually do, and you think that having more work done is going to jeopardize the other outputs, and you don't want to disappoint them, you're going to end up disappointing them more when you're completing nothing. So the thing that I tell my team here at My Consulting Offer today is that I'd rather you have one thing that's 100% complete than 10 things that are 10% complete. And that's the same lesson I learned that day in my third consulting project, was just to tell my manager, hey, I have enough here. Would you rather I prioritize A or prioritize B? Mistake number two that I made was ordering my food at the end of the day when I've had a long day. A lot of times when you're working in consulting, you're working long hours. And this lesson I learned multiple times over is, even on my first project at Bain, I was working quite late hours. So in the morning when I come in, I'm thinking to myself, all right, at night, I definitely want to have a chicken salad to keep my weight down. But after you've been working so hard, and at the time I was doing a private equity deal, at the end of the night, I was just tired. I had a sugar low. I just wanted dessert. Instead of ordering the chicken salad, I would order the juiciest hamburger I could find on the menu, order it with large fries, add in a sundae on top of that, because I just wanted to have a sugar rush. I just wanted to eat because I worked so hard during that day. My mind was just like not thinking about my body. But I did this so much during my first year that I actually gained 15 pounds. It wasn't until my second year in consulting that I decided, well, I'm gonna order my food ahead of time. So it was the beginning of the day. I would place my order for that lunch and that dinner ahead of time. It's kind of like making decisions when you're fresh versus when you're drained and you're going for the easiest option. And I found that I was able to lose those 15 pounds on my second year that I gained during my first year because of that. And mistake number one I made my first year was thinking I always had to have the right answer all the time. The truth is that it's your first year in consulting. You're going to be expected to make mistakes. You're going to be expected to want to ask for help. And the realization is that no one expects you to be a perfect consultant from day one. If that was the case, you would already be a partner at the firm from day one. But the fact that it takes over 10 years to make it to partner from the time you start, it means that you have a lot of learning to go along the way. And that especially applies to your first year in management consulting, where you're going to be expected to make mistakes. What's not okay is not learning from your mistakes and not learning from the mistakes of others, which is why I wanted to record this video, because as you start your management consulting career, I want to make sure that you also learn from my mistakes and the mistakes of others so that you can have an even better first year than all of us did. And that's the point of management consulting, is that you want to be able to learn something and pass it on to others. So I hope this video was very helpful to you in terms of aspiring you to have a great first year in management consulting. In fact, I'm curious which of the mistakes that I listed was the most surprising to you. For example, if it's ordering food when I'm hungry, or if you're already working in consulting and there's something that you think others should learn, I'd love for you to comment below, because it means that everyone in our community could benefit from your knowledge. And if you're watching this video, but you're not a management consultant yet, or you don't have an offer yet, I'd love to help you as well. At My Consulting Offer, we're a team of former McKinsey, Bain, and BCG recruiters, interviewers, and consultants. And we've helped over 800 people start their careers in management consulting. Recently, my team and I put together a free training where we walk people through what it's like to work in consulting, how to land interviews, and how to pass those interviews. You can actually get access to that training for free. I'll include the link below. In this training, my team and I put together the secrets that we use to help our clients land offers at the top firms. In fact, 9 out of 10 people who work with us ultimately land their consulting offer, and we share those secrets in that video, in that training as well. This training could put you one step closer to becoming a management consultant, but you don't take my word for it. Actually hear from someone who went through the training and how it helped them get their multiple offers. In fact, there's one person in particular, I'll link to their video above my head, so you'll really like their story, how they landed multiple offers. I'll keep it a secret for now, but I will see you in the next video.